Hello, welcome to my first video on my story. I thought I'd do this because you've had so many walls of text. I thought video might make a nice change, and also it makes it more interactive. I can point at things and it feels like you're sitting in a room with me, doesn't it? Because my voice changes when I move my head around the room and stuff. Like if I'm pointing to this, if I'm looking at the screen, this voice changes from when I'm looking at the, if I want to emphasise something, I can look at the camera. And that's more like it is in real life. So it's more immersive. So about my voice, I've got a growth in my throat. I've had tests and biopsies and they said it's okay, but it's still there. And it affects my voice. So I sound like an 80-year-old. I'm not an 80-year-old, but I know I'm at the moment. So anybody that knows me and hasn't seen me for a bit, you might be a little bit shocked at the change in my voice. But don't worry about it. It's just a great part of life, isn't it? Cycle of life. You have to accept it. Right. Okay. So we're here. What I'm going to talk about is a project that me and my brother, because we were writers for Computer Shopper magazine, and we were also Vivid Image, so we were working in the music industry. And because we were involved heavily in the magazine and talking to all the tech companies, we knew what was about to happen in the future more than most people do, simply because you're talking to all the companies all the time, you're writing about them, you're talking to them, you know what's coming. And we knew that MP3 was going to drastically change the world of music, especially me and Andy, because we were from the world of music. And we had a meeting with the editor and one of the chief writers, Graham Kidd, and we were talking about this. And we said, this is going to be really bloody revolutionary. And Jeremy said, well, because me and Andy were a part of the music, we're going to be able to see it from an angle that most of the other magazines just won't even know exists. And he was true, he was quite satisfied. So anyway, we ended up, and it's decided that me and Andy would be the lead project managers for the project. And Graham had helped us with the initial writing, and Jeremy was just the editor, so he corrected all my dyslexic spellings. Really nice having an editor. Anyway, so this is what you're looking at now is after the second edition, we did a promo disc that wasn't for distribution. It just went to A&R companies, and it just helped me get working with the organisations I had to contact with. Because the way it worked out was that Andy, my brother, was doing all the script that went down to London and was put on the cover disc. He was creating the HTML. This is HTML, which is, even though it's 20, it's all this old, it's still running on today's browser, sort of. So, my job was to contact the record companies and the artists we knew from the business, talk to all the A&R guys, get the permission to get them interested in the project, get them willing to give me music for free, basically. Bookers wouldn't spend any money. And because back in those days, magazines were absolutely massive. I used to have fun going to shops all over the country, like Smiths and stuff, and watch people pick up the magazines, and you'd see them reading your articles. And the first rule is you never go up to them and say, "Oh, I wrote that." It's just like bad karma, But anyway, magazines were really important. So. It helped me get the music, so my job was to get the music, talk to the artists, interview them, get biogs, get pictures, and then with the Dennis Publishing's legal department, I'd sort out the copyright, because the copyright was difficult. If you're publishing something, you don't want somebody down the line suing your backside off you. So that was one of the hardest things of all, and I had to find 20 tunes every month. And to be honest, the hardest thing was working with the legal departments. But anyway, that's enough. We're here now. So what I'm going to do is I've got my mouse. I'm going to show you quickly, and also what I'm going to do, because of time, I'm not going to show you every tune. I'm going to play little snippets of it. A, because of copyright, that thing again, copyright, and B, because my YouTube channel is my second YouTube channel. My first YouTube channel, I did a promo disc with music on it that I thought I'd copyright from, and because there was multiple tracks, they treated each track as a separate strike and closed my account down. I lost every video I had for all the events I did, all the event promo videos, all the branding videos. I had it all on there, and I didn't keep it as a backup. I thought, well, I don't need to. Why fill up hard disks when YouTube does the job for you? But anyway, that was the case. So I'm going to be very careful. This has been worked out so I can show you this. And when I get to the tune, I have to click separately so I don't get carried away and play too much of the tune. So there's reasons to the madness. Right here, this is what the first CD looked like. This is the cover that the CD was in. And you can see it's got 21 tracks, great music, and that's a picture of the artist on the first tracks. So go back, and this was the cover. That was the cover of the magazine. Magazines £2.45, bloody hell. They were cheaper now than they are now, weren't they? So that takes there 2 free. That's had an extra CD because I nicked so much. 100 MP3 explained, and what it was, this was the launch edition was a cover, what you call a cover, a centre spread. And normally a centre spread is about 2 pages, 4 pages if you're lucky, and you get a thing on the cover, like that's mentioned on the cover. But I think we did about, we did more than 4 pages. We'll find out. I haven't looked at this for a long time. So I've got to go back. Right. So what I'm going to do now, I'm not going to show you the publishing stuff because it's got information that's it's not really for public viewing. So I won't show you that. We don't need to see that anyway. I'll show you the article though that appeared in the magazine. Now once again, I'm not going to show you all of it and read it all out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll so that you can pause the video and read it at your own leisure. So we don't subject everybody to ages and ages of just text. I do that in my typing. Right, so that's the first page. Let's get through as quick as I can. There's the second page. So this is just talking, because we're geeks, you know, it's just talking about what MP3 was, and we're explaining why it's good and what it's going to eliminate, how it's going to, and we do a little bit about how it's going to change things, and we do about its history, and geeky things you expect in a computer magazine. Well, yes, we could do that. But you got it, that's part of the remit, isn't it? So that was 6 pages, and that was a little bit there saying, oh, it's going to be part of a project that contact vivid image. That was mine. Do you imagine how I felt? My vivid, it's going, like us to consider promoting in future shopper compilations, contact vivid image. So that's like, oh, I felt really, that was a really nice thing Jeremy did for me to help promote my other business, which was Vivid Image. So, yeah, that was cool. So now will that take us? Yes, that takes us back. Right. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the first edition. There's 2 copies on this promo, so I'll go through them quickly. This is the HTML. On the first edition, we were so excited we hadn't even thought of a name. I thought of a name, but it didn't have. It was after the deadline, so the name was introduced on the second edition, and I explained in the text. We called it Osmosis, and you'll see why. So Andy's did the HTML, basic HTML back in the day. That's how it was, you know, and the tracks are down here. So now we because it's a magazine, me and Andy are really dance based. But we had to think outside of our own favouritism, and we had to think, imagine what the readership looked like if you had an audience. And there's going to be old people, young people, bedroom hackers, headmasters. You've got to cater for everybody. So it really was eclectic. The first one was really eclectic. To be honest though, as it went on, by number 6, it was all dance music, because nearly all dance music. Because I just knew everybody, you know, it was just easy for me. Right, okay, so we'll go. Now these first 2 tracks are by some Dutch mates. You've seen Dennis, if you follow my comments, from Holland, and we've been mates for a long time. He was part of a group of DJs, Dutch DJs in Amsterdam, that were really playing top of their game. They were really good, and whenever we went to stay in Holland, me and Andy used to stay with these guys, and then we'd stay with them for a week, and then we'd go off touring Holland, you know, the islands or wherever, you know, anywhere. But we always made a point of seeing them. So thank you, Dennis, and everybody, all your friends, for introducing you to all your friends. It was a really wicked time. So now to the music. Right. So it tells you here about Amsterdam-born Lorenzo Zota discovered dance music in Belgium. Anyway, I won't read it. You can do it yourself. Right. There's the first one. Let's play a little bit of the tune. Now I've got to try and keep it to about 10 seconds. Drum and bass, okay? Good quality drum and bass. Because that was, but Dennis was more trance. So he would talk about Cry for Love, Dennis Shaw, you see, and Nick. These guys were into sort of Soviet part of it. There's the history there. Let's get straight into the tune. Nice tune, Dennis. Thank you. See, good quality trance. And then, so I opened with that because they were friends, and it's dance music. It was mine and his choice, really. We like that. And then, but we had to think of the other people. So then we did all sorts of music, like this is nothing like that. You know, this is folk music. But why not? You know, that's part of our audience. And part of the reason for it being called Osmosis later on was because we wanted to open people's horizons. We wanted them to learn from other styles that they would not necessarily find on their own, you know, under their own steam. So that was part of the thing, as well as talking about new technologies and how the world's going to change. It was about opening music up for people. So we did 2 of those. I wish I could play everything, but I've got to be really disciplined. If anybody wants any of this music, give me a message and I'll let you know. Then, so I knew some people in Plymouth. You can read it there. Really nice girl, really nice band. I'll give you a little example. Intros always take the first 10 seconds, don't they? Really silky, jazzy voice. You get an idea. That was Neil Bonmouth. Then there was a local band called Dub Merge. Now, as this was early in the, they didn't get me the biog, and I didn't get a chance to do an interview. I think they were on tour or something. Something happened, and so I just had to go with it. So anyway, I got the music. Anybody that's into dub music, have heard of dub, will give you an idea what it sounded like. See, good quality music, and it's a variety. And then we did, because we're based in Shropshire, and the Labs was based in Shropshire, although it's a European-wide magazine, we wanted to give something back to Shropshire. You know, you do when you live in somewhere. So now, Polly Bolton was an international artist from Church Stretton, and this is a poem, music poem, with Nigel Hawthorne, who was also, and she was from Ludlow, and like my dance fans might not like this, but there was a lot of Computer Shopper readers that loved this track, and it's this thing about opening it up to everybody. It's a long track. She's got more work on other sections later on, so I won't play this one. Where have we got to? Polybottom. And the eclecticness again, more poppy, indie pop, really good though, really good musicians, real good stage presence. Tragic Roundabout, you can tell I'm getting good these. It's jazz, ska, punk, give the idea, really, really tight musicians. That's what part of this project was about, was giving people access to really good music and giving these artists a bit of publicity that in areas they wouldn't normally get. So what was that? That was Tragic Roundabout. And then because we also talked to colleges and schools and said, have you got any good people that are useful? So we did that. This was Shropshire, and it's got quite good music by it. That was quite using Sonic's Foundry. It was quite good. Acid has. It'd been on Beacon Radio. It was quite good. State of Mind is another one I didn't get the biog for, but this was early days. It was only the second one. To be honest, I was happy just to get the music because my priority was to fill this list here. And in a month, it might not look a lot, but to have to talk to every one of these organisations in depth and then it was a lot of I think I chewed off so much. But and Andy had the same problem because he was doing the HTML. I would provide him with the music and the text and the pictures, and sometimes it was the day of the deadline. Like this I would have been chewing my teeth on the day we had to send it to London. And Andy'd be chewing his teeth thinking, I'm going to create this bit. And you can imagine the stress. But there's an energy comes from having a deadline. It really is. It does something to you, your psyche. The way it gives you an edge that you haven't got without it. So, but sometimes you can't get everything. You just have to accept it. I could have dropped the tune, but what's the point? It was good music. Then there was this is going back to my contacts in the music business, playing some more good music that people created a showcase. But it was really important to me that the quality was sublime, Why intro so long? Quality, drum and bass, you get the idea. Another one of on the early discs, I was really sympathetic to local talent, and I'd give it. Now this was a young lad from one of the schools, and at first we were going to dismiss it. We thought, I think you look at the picture, you get a bit, that was just a kid, he's going to be like, he's not going to be very good. And then we listened to his music, and bloody hell, it was good. This is a young lad playing the piano. And I thought, it's got to go on. It just made the whole project, it's more eclectic, it was something for everybody. See, I've got to stop talking when the music's on. That's why I've done this, so I can see it clearly. I can't help myself. So that was a young lad's sound. And then we mixed that between two professional artists. This was from America. So with my contacts, I was dealing with America, and these were really, really, really cool from Oakland, California. And these are really. So imagine how that flag felt. It's surrounded by two really cool artists. It must have given him a lift, mustn't it? I bet he took the CD into school and showed all his mates. Which gives us an uplift.
My name is Sunshine. And I'm
bit hip hop, good quality hip hop. Good music. Robot Head. Anybody that's in America will know Robot Head. I just can't play all the tunes. We haven't got time. I'll give you a quick go. See, really tight musicians. Really, really tight. To be on this project. To be honest, I couldn't believe that this was only the second edition, and we were already attracting this quality. And for that section of the market, really high quality musicians, something different, and hopefully, jazz rock and folk. Hopefully, people dig this thing and listen to other music outside of the stars. Now, this one, we had more letters from the readers of the magazine about this track than all the other tracks put together. And it's simply because the track is by anybody in America will know the Anarchist Steering Committee, especially on the West Coast. And this track was called "I Think My Teletubby Is Gay." And it's like, I thought, well, it's not that bad, but words upset a lot of people. Sorry. See, I think my Teletubby comes just after 20 seconds. How unfortunate. But you can find that on YouTube, like I said. Where have we got to? Penultimate track. Really cool tune. I'll cut this out because it's good. He played at the White House. Bloody hell. It's from Kentucky. Really, really high quality music. But I'm having to miss every one. I'll give this one as an example. So you can tell from this, there was something for everybody, but there was not one bad tune on any of them. And you got to remember, this was back then. This was really, it wasn't played. A lot of this music wasn't played on radio. For a lot of people, this would be the first time they heard a lot of this. So I think that's why I liked it. So what have I done? This is number one, isn't it? I've got to do number two. So, I've got to go all the way back, haven't I? Forgive me. I didn't practice this before I turned the camera on. You've got to see it all again. Won't take long. I could go back to the menu, but computers are funny. Oh, here we are. This is the second one. Right. Now you can tell, see, Andy had got a little bit better. We'd started becoming more music magazine, using words like eclectic mix from The Expansive. That was a promo, wasn't it? Promo language. And Andy did this, I think that's JavaScript. But it was when we introduced the name, and from here on in, Osmosis became part of the branding, a big part of the branding, and part of the concept. So that's that. Now let's go to the music. By now, I was starting to get a feel in the A&R departments in the record companies, and I thought, I'm going to go for the artists I really admire, And it was like one of them things. I've got a habit of doing this. People say, "Oh, don't do that, you're wasting your time." No, do it. Go for it. You never know. You might be successful. Well, anyway, one of the top band on there, because he's my favourite band of all, one of my favourite bands of all time, is Banca de Gea. Look it up on the internet. Toby Marks. He's won the Mercury Music Prize, for God's sake. This is really, really one of a real big, big artist. Thank you, Toby, for having the faith in us, in this experiment. I think it was good for you and it was good for us. Thank you. I'll do the thing again. This guy has really, really worked with everybody. So once again, onto the music, little section. You've all heard this on the radio loads of times, so. It's a long, it could take ages to go on, good time. But check it out on YouTube. Right, next one. I need to get a move on. I still got to do Osmosis 4. Marshmallow Blues is one of my favourite albums that came out during this period. And I contacted them once again. I thought, I'm going to contact people I really like. people I worship, you know, sort of my heroes. So I contacted the label, Transient, and they said they were really into the project. And they said, yeah, come down to London. So me and Andy went down to the HQ. And it was really good because they had a big stable of top artists. And I thought this is good for the project going forwards, you know. Plus we all ended up going to a party full of really cool people in London. Oh, it was an amazing time. Anyway, I'll play a bit of the track. It's so hard because this music's so good. It's all trance, marshmallow, really mellow. Anyway, good album, check it out. The next song was from another mate of mine. I've done a lot of work with Hectic Records and Fusion, and they're not just promoters of events. They were also promoters, they're also a record label with artists. So, like this tune here, Donna Grass was the lead singer of Sunset Regime. Anybody into dance music knows of it. Anyway, here, once again, I'll try and cut it short, let you read it, pause it and read it. I'll just play a few bars. Anyway, so you'll see more from them later. Just Gordia. A lot of the artists on the CDs, because internet was new, although they were good artists, they had not yet got round to having internet. So one of the deals I did for the artists that hadn't got that, me and Andy had a website, Vivid Image website, and I tell you how popular it was. And the first couple of weeks it had got 100,000 hits on the comments page. And I thought, wow. And that was in a time when hardly anybody had the internet. So anyway, we created pages for a lot of these people. And then it was good for them, you know. So once again, there's the thing. Shall I play the music? Oh, I've got to cut out. Ooh, nice. Oh, sorry, I can't play it. If only you knew it, it's upsetting me not to be able to play all the music. Where have we got to? Now, some more. I've got a couple of American bands here. Oh no, yeah. Oh no, these were English. I thought they were American. This is a long time ago since I looked at this. Oh yeah, Robin Hill was the A&R guy I dealt with, and he gave me a lot of indie bands. And I wasn't into indie bands, but it was the biggest thing back then. And obviously he was going to promote what was selling, you know. But to be honest, I listened to the music, and they were really good. They're actually really good. You can hear they're a tight indie band of their time. Really good. This is the same. It's really tight. That's sort of rockabilly stuff, isn't it? So anyway, that covered people that like that sort of music. I'm really running out of time. Planet Groove, really good acid jam from Slovenia, acid jazz. Tungsten Morph, they were two mates of mine and Andy's from Ludlow, and they used to play at all the free parties, because we used to do all the free parties, we used to do the big events and then take the gear to the free parties and do it for free for them. So we got to know a lot of it was stupid really, because we were risking our gear, but we're just part of the scene, you know. And that was a good drum and bass tune, but I won't play it because it's, once again, it's difficult at time. So I want to say this is more really good urban groove, hip hop, jazz, funk, blues, really good quality music. Alien Fashion Show, same thing, swing, cocktail. I want to play it, but I can't. More of the same, blues, rock, ballads. This was because I was aware that I'd played too much, a little bit too much dance, and I knew I was going to do a lot of dance music on this issue, so I wanted to put more of this type on just to make people feel better. Mitten, that was another really cool, but a good time. Polly Bolton, again Polly Bolton, and this is really super chilled. I'll play this because it's going to be a bit harder for the social media's algorithms to pick up. But this is for like when you've done a hard day's work, you come home and you want to sit down and chill, you know. So anyway, beautiful, beautiful piece. It's got didgeridoos, everything you could want. Just sit down, put your feet up, and then. So next to that, I do something like this, which is Bristol-based vocals. I think they're another indie band. So anyway, and then I did a thing. One of my biggest promoters I worked with was Slamming Vinyl. I was really, really good friends. I knew them from when they first started. But as well as being one, and I did a lot of their production. But as well as being one of the leading rave promoters in the UK, they were also a label and had a stable of good artists. So that made it easy for me. So I said, look, I'm running out of tracks this issue. It's been really hard, can you help me? And they said, oh yeah, well, what do you want? And I thought, well, I've worked with all these people anyway, so they won't mind. And they helped with the legal work. So, yeah. And even though they were the largest promoter in the country of raves, they didn't have a website. Back then, they did soon after because they had so much response from our website, and we created a branch on my website for Breathers Image website for Slamming Vinyl. How about that? But you didn't know that, did you? And then Cold Cock. Everybody's there. Everybody was really. I don't want to breathe. Anyway, enough of that. Anybody that went back to raves in the day will know this tune from the first couple of bars. That's all you need. Okay, so that's the first two issues. Now we're on to Osmosis 4. We've got a little bit better at it. I've got better, Andy's got better at the scripting, although this was the last HTML. You'll notice that the Java has gone to the corner. That's because we were writing on the magazine and we were given really good computers when we wrote about them. We didn't realise that big Java was killing people's computers back then. It was really killing them. So we made it small. So anyway, the music. Like, here it is. Read that. James Hardway. I couldn't believe I got Banker de Gea, James Hardway. These are all my favourite bloody artists. And I was just so cheeky. I thought, why not? Go for it. And I don't know how we managed it. I don't know if we got them. Anyway. So that was a nice park, wasn't it? Nice pictures, nice. Much more interesting. Anyway, check out James Hardway on Google. Item Jukebox is another label I became really friendly with. They're really useful, really good label, top artists, and they always help me out. Really, really help me out. Every time I'd ring them up and Mark, you're okay. So thank you, Item Jukebox, you're a star. And I still love Marshmallow Grooves. Oh. Anyway.
Are there any girls here? Girls here? Girls here?
So this is going to be even harder, not playing all the bloody tunes. Another one from Transient, we got a lot from Transient. People will know them as Floor Play. They were big, really big, in their scenes. Oh, play the music forever. Oh, sorry. Oh, right there. Yeah. Yeah, now Claudio was possibly one of the most interesting artists I've got. He was really big. He had done really top records, and he worked all over the world. He was an international artist. I can't believe I've got so many good artists on my record, on the cover list. Anyway, I'll give you a little taster. See, once again, beautiful music. Oh, I so hope I don't get copyright. I'm trying my best, honest. Terra Firma 2. Can I play it? No, I've got to be disciplined. Oh, this is all such good music. I'll do the trick and scroll it past. Don't forget, if you like it, Google. Jonathan again, Cynical Blend. I had a really good relationship with Hectic, I've already explained. Yeah, you can read that if you want.
Heaven is a place
this was one of my favourite tunes. Everybody, whenever you went to a rave, whenever this was played, everybody went quiet and their arms went in the air, and then a big roar.
Heaven is a place
it was probably one of the most iconic tunes in the scene. And there was me getting it on the bloody thing. DSP Global, trance music, really cool, from King's Cross, Whirligig, Seven Oaks, Kent. I was getting, because I knew, I went all over the country, and we knew a lot of people, you know. And this is really good music, but I'm conscious that I'm taking up so much time. I can't play it. I've only got to play something that's really outstanding. This is good. This is all good music, but I'm getting close. Simon, this is interesting. Simon Cooper. I always try to do a super chiller on every edition, and Simon, I knew him from from my work in Cornwall. I did a lot of work in Cornwall, and they had the eclipse, and he wrote this tune for the eclipse. And this was a super... beautiful, beautiful piece of music. Another piece to come home from work if you're shattered and just chill. Headboard, another one of the, I think this is American, I can't remember, was this English or American? I can't remember, it's such a long time ago. I'll give you a quick sample. Oh yeah, this is... See, really, really tight bands. This band, my daughter Claire and her best friend Tasha used to ask me to put this on all the time, and I think it's because we got the lyrics and they could sing. And you know what teenage girls like, they love to sing together with the lyrics. And it was such a cool piece of music. I've got to put, this is for Claire and Tasha. Anyway, that was, I'm sorry I can't play it. I've nearly got to the end of this thing, this video. More good quality music, This is from Florida, classical guitar, flamingo. So, I've played. Give you an idea. See, they know their stuff, don't they? Natasha's Ghost. See, this was such good. The quality was so good for its style. I didn't like this style, but I like these tunes. So I think that was the osmosis working, wasn't it? Because I got to like something I thought I didn't like. And I'm hoping that that happens to everybody. And the last one is Fisher. This is cool, one of the chilled out ones. Classical music, you can see she's playing. She's really into it, she's good. Beautiful girl. I think the young lads enjoyed watching this. And that was the end. We'll go back to the beginning. So I'm sorry I can't play all the tunes, but it really is already it's too long. But like I said, if you want any information on any of these pieces of music, send me a message and I'll do my best to get it for you. Okay, thank you. You have a good weekend.